You.
Now listen, if you are easily offended, please mute the television right now. I'm not kidding, really. I'll give you a hand signal when it's okay to listen again, because I'm about to say a couple of words. Here they are. Islamic extremist. Yes, and radical Islam. Okay, you can come back now. Oh, wait a minute, you're not offended? Really? Not even Muslims are offended by that? Well, gosh, somebody should tell the European Union, because the real story is that they've reportedly created a classified handbook in Europe that advises government spokesmen against using those terms. They're not Islamic terrorists. They're not, and I'm now kidding, they are now terrorists who abusively invoke Islam. And it's certainly not a jihad against the West, because some Muslims have personal jihads and they don't strap dynamite to themselves. Every time we succumb to political correctness, every time we stop calling a spade because we don't want to insult somebody, we put another nail in our own coffin. A couple of weeks ago, the president of the EU Commission said that political correctness is killing our freedoms. I'm going to go a step further. If we're not careful, America, political correctness won't just kill our freedoms, it will kill our children as well. Dr. Jasser, he is the chairman of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy. Doctor, please help me out. You're a Muslim. Changing these words and these terms doesn't change anything, does it?
Glenn, this is nothing short of intellectual appeasement. Chamberlain would be proud, because, you know, if you want to engage the moderate Muslim community to fight Islamism as an ideology, you know, Europe is always proving to be a laboratory of what we need to worry about in America as we get closer to that. I mean, they need to understand that as Muslims, the radicals are using Islam, and we can't hand them over the mantle of my faith to say that this is Islam. If I'm going to fight them and say that political Islam is the enemy, and prove to them that I can take the spiritual path of Islam and separate it from their stranglehold of the clerics, the only way I can do that is to say that they are ruining my spiritual path of Islam. So to take away that word is actually the first step to surrender intellectually. And we're not fighting a tactic, we're fighting an ideology. And the only way we can treat this disease is to diagnose it correctly and then treat it correctly.
And name it. We're not even allowed to name it anymore. When you can't define your enemy, how can you describe them? How can you point them out?
And I don't even get the political correctness part. This is what they call themselves. Jamaat Islamiyya, Islamiyin. This is what they use in Arabic. Ikhwan al-Muslimin. They use Muslims and Islam in their names. If they're fighting us, if they don't agree with American ideology, we need to have that debate. We need to engage them, or political correctness is going to be our demise. They're going to continue to dig their heels in on political Islam, and then the offshoot of that, militantism, is going to thrive even more.
Put yourself in the shoes of a militant extremist Muslim. You hear this, that they have a secret handbook now for the EU that says no longer describe them as Muslim extremists. You having cake tonight? I mean, you're celebrating, aren't you?
Absolutely.
If you're a Muslim extremist,
absolutely,
they're celebrating.
Exactly. That's why they use our system, whether it's our legal system of civil rights issues or the issues of the media's political correctness. They want this because they want to have hold of the religion's theology. And the way they do that is to prevent debate. The debate's not happening in the mosques. It's only going to happen outside for us to force changes within the sermons and in the mosques. And the only way we're going to get to that debate is to acknowledge that we need to have reformation.
Zudi, one of the good guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Mark.
That's The Real Story. We'll be back in just a minute.